So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
so
fair.
You're more in the category like Luther Rickman, Arnold, okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic.
That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog.
How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes.
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes. But you know,
Wait, hold up.
You got it.
I got
when
to
it's
try
time,
this with you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I hope you guys are enjoying your Friday night. I know a lot of y'all going like, what the hell's going on, man? It's Friday night, man. You ain't never on Friday nights. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not usually on Fridays. Okay? Shoot me. All right? Reason why is because, I felt like, there's a lot of stuff that's developing about this fresh and fit thing, and now there's these women that have come out. There was a video I saw yesterday that I've been wanting to do a reaction to. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just do it live with my family. You know what I mean? We'll do it live. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to do it live. You know? What's the point of doing all this work? You know what I'm saying? If I can't do it with my fam. Okay? If you feel me, and if you're having a good Friday night, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you got a libation next to you. Hopefully you're drinking responsibly. If you smoke it, if you got it, smoke it. If you got it, drink it. Just do it responsibly. You know what I'm saying? But while you're doing that, whilst you are pouring your drink or rolling that blunt, hit that subscribe, hit that like button real quick. I'm getting to the subscribe button. Why am I getting so anxious here? Hit that subscribe button as well. It'd be really, really appreciated. Yes, absolutely, Mark. Going full Bill O'Reilly mode. You know what I mean? We're going to do it live. God damn it. Let's do it live. You know what I'm saying? Tranquilo. It's okay. Life is good. Life is good. Okay? So, don't forget to hit that like button, of course. That'd be greatly appreciated. Anyway, we got to jump into some stories. We got some things going on. There's some things that we have been, let's just say, that I was going to do. I feel a little lazy about it because I didn't get a chance to really, I was going to do like a couple pop-ups, and then I was just really tired. I'm exhausted today, y'all. It's been a long-ass week, a lot of work, a lot of talking and all that stuff, but I just can't seem to stop. You know what I'm saying? You know, once you think you're out, they keep dragging you back in. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm getting full Godfather 3 on all your asses, but it's okay. It's okay. 808 is here. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You know, we got some love going on. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I keep saying good morning and good evening on the wrong times. You know what I'm saying? Good evening to everybody who's tuning in. Definitely hit that like button. Send the likes all the way up. But we got to definitely talk about this situation. We got to talk about this, okay? I know we've talked about it before. We had a long conversation about it, all right? But there's now more developing information. There was some stuff that was developed before, the other shoe fell, right? Before the ish hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? But there is more going on, right? Yes, Malia, you're absolutely right. She's in Australia, so it's probably morning over there by now. Yes, it's always morning somewhere. She is hard facts right now. Malia, thank you so much for all the love down under. But we got to talk about this because, like I said, there was some information that happened before the ish hit the fan for Fresh and Fit. They are rapidly losing subscribers and all that. And there's But then there was another video that dropped yesterday that is getting a lot of attention. People are starting to look at it. That I saw. It was only like at a few thousand views at that time. Now it's in 20,000 views and such. And I figured, you know what? We might as well take a look at this because we've already talked about Fresh and Fit before. But I'm like, all right, we most definitely need to talk about this particular situation, especially with the exposed truth of one of the guys. Let's just say that. And I'm assuming birds of a feather finish the phrase. You know what I'm saying? So before we jump into that main story or into that main video that we're looking at, there's another video that happened about 2 weeks ago where a reoccurring person, that the guest that they used to have on their show by the name of Nina Unrated was felt some type of way in an Instagram live video and wanted to expose all they asses. Real talk. To the point where this sparked a lot of questions. Sparked a lot of many questions on how they actually conduct their work behind the scenes. We got to take a look at this particular video because in this one, like I said, in this video, she is someone, she's got an account on OnlyFans, which of course now she probably is going to have to find a new place to put her content up because OnlyFans is going to be cutting out all that X-rated ish, no more adult content over there. Okay, so just like Nina Unrated, a lot of other models are pretty much screwed right now where they're trying to figure out where they're going to go to put out this explicit content, right? So she's an OnlyFans model. She does a certain types of content, right? You see what I'm saying? She is a exotic dancer and all that. And I'm not throwing any shade on her lifestyle or her job, okay? Her profession. Not throwing any shade on that at all. But what I find very funny or very interesting is how Fresh and Myron, right, decide to conduct themselves behind the curtains with women. Here's a little bit. She says it all. Let's take a listen. Language, by the way.
You coming back? You coming back? Yo, stop dick riding me. Get off my dick.
Language.
All right? Get off my dick. They're the ones that pursued me. I wasn't chasing them like no thirsty bitch. You coming to the show? You coming back on the show? Hey, what are you gonna do on the show? Yo, calm down. You acting real thirsty. Calm down. Calm down. Cause they got y'all motherfuckers thinking, for the dudes that are watching these motherfuckers, they got y'all thinking that they bag these bitches. No, they're paying for pussy. They're paying for pussy. There's a fucking YouTuber that just released a video with receipts on how they pay for pussy. Huh.
By the way, this is 2 weeks ago. So somebody else already talked about some ish trying to expose Fresh and Fit. Okay? I just want to point that out really, really quick. All right?
I don't give a fuck that you used to work for the FBI. Oh, I was in the FBI. And yeah, then you should carry yourself like a man of the law and stop being so disrespectful. If you are a man of the law, or you used to be, maybe you should carry yourself with a little better, which is why they made your ass resign, because they are not, the way he expresses himself about females is not conducive to that line of work, okay? I don't have a boyfriend. I'm single as fuck. Yeah. Believe me. And the one thing you motherfuckers know that been riding with me is I have no reason to lie. None. That's why I'm not even flinching when I say it, because it's all factual.
Now, here's the thing. She starts to say something a little bit later on here, which I'm going to keep letting this play because you just need to hear the conversation that she's having on this IG Live. But she really is straight up exposing. She's about to expose some serious stuff. and the lengths that I guess Fresh and Fit were willing to go to try to get her to do certain things. Let's continue.
The only dude that wasn't disrespectful is this one dude that kind of stays off camera, and he was to the left. The other three, trash. Straight trash. Oh, come look at where I live. Come look at where I live. And maybe you could just drop your panties for me. I'm not impressed by a fucking 2-bedroom dirty-ass apartment in Brickell. How about you clean your spot up first and open up these windows? There's not enough light in this room. And the other one renting a fucking Airbnb trying to act like he flossing. Fuck out of here. Oh, I don't have an apartment. Oh, okay, but how you bagging bitches with no apartment? How y'all talking about y'all bagging bitches? How are you giving dating advice and you ain't even got a place to fuck a bitch? How?
Good
See,
question.
they can fuck with these weak ass B females all they want to. They cross the wrong fucking bitch with me. I'm the wrong bitch to fucking cross. And I'm telling you, I'm taking that shit straight to my lawyer. And if I have a case, I'm pursuing it. And I'm not the bitch to let up because I'm still on a fucking lawsuit with OnlyFans and it's been a year and I'm not letting up. I'm not letting up. So for everybody that wants to know what's going on with my OnlyFans, I'm still suing them and it's still going all the way through.
Yeah, she's suing OnlyFans. By the way, forgot to mention that. But you just heard that. Yeah. Here we go.
I don't give a fuck how many porn stars they interview. I'm not a fucking porn star. And if I'm going to sell my pussy, I'm going to sell it to get my own money. I'm not going to let somebody come sell my pussy so they can reap the benefits of my pussy. Are you fucking dumb? Sound fucking stupid. Oh, we're going to get so mad. I'm so mad. Why are you so mad? Because you couldn't exploit me? Because you couldn't manipulate me? Because you thought that you were going to use my son's story to extort me out of sexual content?
She's currently in a custody battle, if I'm correct, on getting custody over her son. Okay. And they are trying to use, I guess they were trying to dangle her son over her so that she would go and make sexually explicit content for their Patreon. Just so you know, if I'm just trying to fill the cracks here because it is kind of blotchy, right? Let's continue.
That's what you thought? You thought you were going to manipulate my mind to extort me out of sexual content, and you were going to use my son's story to do that? Oh, she's thirsty. She really wants to get a hold of her son. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell her we're going to interview her son and then give her a story about her son. And then once we get the interview for her story, we're going to get her to agree so that we can extort her pussy for money. That's some trash ass. That's a trash of a man. I was like, wow, you are trash. That dude is trash.
Okay. Is he trash? I think we get the general idea here. So, Fresh and Fit had Nina Unrated on their show. I've seen her on there a couple times. I think she's been on there a few times to a handful of times, okay? She went and did her thing. Apparently, they had really good times with her on the show. They're talking to her. You know, obviously, she's somebody who, you know, is an exotic dancer. She makes adult content, so on and so forth. And then, you know, out of nowhere, they feel like because of their platform, right? Because of the amount of followers and the platform in which they have built, which, by the way, I'm not knocking their platform. What they've done is amazing. What they've done in a very short amount of time is amazing. Okay. Matter of 6 to 8 months, they went from 0 subscribers to over, well, now it's dropped, but to over 400,000 subscribers. That is an amazing feat to accomplish, where you're bringing in all kinds of people. You're bringing all kinds of acts and different characters. And, you know, you got other people like Tekashi 6ix9ine doing podcasts in your podcast space. You have done a lot of really great things, right? You've accomplished what people would say is almost impossible, would take years for the average guy to make. They found a formula and it worked for them. But here's the thing, though. Here's the caveat. They decided to let those numbers and that newfound fame get to their heads. You know, you got to be careful. And I've said this on this morning show. You have to be careful on who you give power to. You got to be careful on who you trust 110% to. Now, these are the same guys that will sit here all day long and say, oh, we don't pay for love. I hate using the P word. And I hate when women use the P word too. It just it's like nails on a chalkboard. But hey, to each their own. But at the same time, you pay for some booty, all right? You're out there, you don't pay. They say, I don't need to do that. I don't need to pay for booty, blah, blah, blah. I get them with my high value and all that stuff. Yet, like we've already mentioned before, like we've already covered before, we have found them on, or one of them on a sugar mama, sugar daddy website where he is looking for a sugar mama so he could be the sugar baby, right? We have seen, they say, oh, I don't pay for nothing, yet you'll see them in this next video, which I'm going to show you. Well, they'll use their platform for leverage to get in the pants, of the women that come to the show. They're using it as leverage, for crying out loud. What kind of... Like I said, I'm going to show it to you guys because I think this is ridiculous. This is a whole other story. Whole other person from probably another completely different side of the world. Completely different girl. And she comes with receipts, y'all. She comes with pretty damn good receipts. This is bad. Let's take a listen to this one.
What's up, y'all? My name's Anna Quinn. I just wanted to take a minute to make a quick video about the whole Fresh and Fit situation, just give you guys an update. And also, I never really made a video to explain what happened and share the truth and the facts on my own page. So I want to make this quick. I want to make it clear so you have all the evidence in front of you. And I just want to share what's going on because this is someone who claims to be a male self-improvement podcast, the top, the best, and they have over 400,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I didn't know until I looked into. And they are creating a culture of hateful, mean, I'm not going to continue commenting, but just they're creating a disgusting culture of men who treat women like crap. And so I'm taking a stand and I'm sharing because I can. So.
Okay. So just so you guys are just to make it abundantly clear, because I know some people are going to automatically think like, oh, she's doing this she's doing this for clout. She's doing this to chase clout and all that stuff. Let me tell you this. The story that you're about to hear from her is unbelievable, to the point where, like I said, they used their power in the worst way possible. They used their leverage and their privilege, their influence in the worst way possible. So I don't blame this woman, Anna Quinn, that's her name. Anna Quinn Fitness is her YouTube channel. I don't blame Anna Quinn Fitness for coming forward and saying her truth, for saying her story and exposing these dudes' asses. Because this kind of stuff, this kind of behavior should not be okay. Should not be just giving a thumbs up and keep moving. This is terrible. This is a terrible, terrible way of trying to, let's just say, get a woman or get any person of interest, any possible prospect. This is not the way to conduct yourself. Let's continue.
What happened? I will be providing evidence. Let me scooch over so when I edit it, it can be here. Basically, Myron reached out to me. He is half of Fresh and Fit. I think he's fresh, but I don't think he's fresh. I think his name is Fresh on the podcast. But he reached out to me and wanted to do a podcast, or wanted me to collaborate with him for his show. At the time, I don't know what his following is now, but he had like 10,000 followers on Instagram. I have had at that time around like 42,000, 40,000, something like that. And so I didn't respond to the DM, to be honest. Then one of my friends, who I'm going to leave anonymous right now, just because I haven't discussed with him whether or not I can share his identity, told me, hey, one of my boys reached out to you, wants to film some content with you. He has a really popular channel, so you should do it. So I actually responded to the DM and I was like, hey, what's up? He said, let's do a collab. I was like, okay, cool. I was actually planning a trip to Miami. So I told him, like, this is what I'm going to be in Miami. I wasn't going to pay to come out to be on his show. And I hadn't even looked into his show. I just kind of went off of the friend's recommendation. So Myron and I went back and forth. I'm just going to pull up the text so I don't say anything that's not true. He asked me when the soonest I was going to be out there is. I told him that I was planning on being there Friday. He said he wasn't going to be available then. And then he asked me a relationship question. For some reason, I did not see that or that part of the message, or I was busy or whatever. So I said, do you want to make it happen, or should I plan for next week? And he said it'd have to be next week. So we're just discussing logistics. I answered his question, said, I'm not dating anyone right now. Dated someone a couple months last year, but before that I was single and I love talking on that topic. He said, okay, cool. I'm up for that. I'm not going to do anything platonic with you, just being honest. And I thought he was reaching out for a collaboration because we're both well known in the fitness industry.
So you heard that, right? I'm just making sure you heard what he said in those messages. So he basically just threw it out there in a way. He shot his shot. He went up there and he just shot his shot real quick and said, well, if you come over, if you get it over here, if you come out to Miami, we ain't like just having a conversation. There's going to be more to this story. In other words, I'm about to see you naked, basically.
And my Instagram following is larger than his. So at the time, I still didn't know he had a 400, him and his partner have a $400,000 subscriber YouTube page. But I have been approached about collaborations before. And so since I was going to be out there, it's down to do it. So when he said, I'm not trying to do anything platonic with you, it was completely left field for me because I was only thinking we were going to do some kind of fitness related content collab. And he said, no problem. I collab directly with girls I date. No pressure, though. And I was like, so if we aren't dating, you don't want to collab? Because he's never even asked me on a date at this point. So I was like, he said, no, don't mean to be an a-hole, but we have plenty of women in Miami.
Don't mean to be an a-hole, but we have plenty of women in Miami. So he's basically saying, like, I don't need you to be here. Like I said, she came with receipts, baby. This isn't fabricated stuff. This isn't some Photoshop crap. This is a real text message conversation that they had on that app on Instagram. And he literally is saying, well, we have plenty of beautiful women here. So if you come out here, we having a session. We're having a private session, period. Unbelievable. Freaking believable, y'all. Like I said, you have to be careful on the people you give power to, period. You have to be careful on the people that you consume and watch and flood your money towards, because they could be complete. This is like predatorial type of okay. Let's continue with this stuff, shall we?
And I said, well, same. We have plenty of men here in California. So why would I fly to Miami to date someone who I know nothing about? And he said, simple. Attractive women are common. High value men are not.
Remember with the time when a few days ago when I did the whole thing, we played the video with Abba and Preach, and then they showed the video of him getting Myron on this sugar baby website that's trying to find sugar daddies or sugar mamas. And he basically said something along the lines of like, I am the 666. Like, I make six figures. I'm over 6 foot, and I got a 6-pack. So I'm a rarity. Ha ha. So yeah, It's that simple. That's why you should be with me type of thing. That's why you should pick me. This is basically the same crap that he's funneling out here as well. This is the same crap that he says on his show all the time. All the time. He's just become louder and much more bold with his words now because he knew, well, at that time, before he put his foot in his mouth, he had over 400,000 subscribers, 420,000 subscribers at one point, eating his stuff up. Thousands of people flooding their live feeds, listening to every single word that he says and eating it up and loving every bit of it. Num, 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 num. People are buying their courses online. Thousands and thousands of dollars that men are spending on the courses that they have online, spending thousands of dollars on their Patreon. So this guy thinks he's untouchable. He like Denzel Washington in American Gangster. He thinks he can pull the trigger right in the middle of the damn street, walk away, and no one will snitch. He thinks he's untouchable. This is insane. But he's doing this with women, and he's using his platform as leverage.
I'm not going to comment on that yet. No hard feelings, though. I said, you haven't proven to me that you're a high value man. And actually, I know quite a few high value men. I'm not just an attractive woman. I'm an entrepreneur with a 6-figure business and a high profile assets. I'm nothing but common. I meant to say I'm anything but common. No hard feelings and a smiley face. So then I screenshotted our conversation, blocked out his name, and I posted on my story because I was shocked at this point that someone would use their business, their show, to try to get women, and they think that would work. And I was also shocked that he said that attractive women are common and high value men are not, when it's just like he dismissed me as an attractive woman, but not a high value man, or not a high value woman. And, I don't know anything about this guy. So for him to tell me that he's this high value man when you're having to use your show to get women, high value men don't have to use their show and clout to get women, for the record. Anyway, so I posted anonymously and I said, high value men don't talk the way that you did. I have 75 people on my story. I posted a poll and I was like, am I tripping or is this crazy? I forget exactly what I said, but I had so many people voting. Oh my gosh, like this is insane. And so I said, I have 75 people on my story who voted. I can't believe what you said. The comments are insane. Not one person has your side or thinks your approach is appropriate. You're tripping. And I was using emoji faces laughing. I said, maybe you should have me on your podcast so I can teach you how to talk to women.
Facts.
And I sent the screenshots. Then he said,
it's insane.
Responded to the screenshots that I sent and said, I'm just being honest and stand by it. I'm not collaborating with you unless we have sex.
You see it in black and white right here. He says, I'm just being honest and stand by it. I'm not collaborating with you unless we knock boots. Unless we bang. She bang. She not this time, actually. No, not banging. Literally. Then he goes to the next level. I'll let her finish this, but real talk. He is okay. Obviously, he's consuming his own. He is he's getting high off his own supply. Okay, he's dishing out this BS for everyone to consume. He makes millions. He's making. Oh, they're raking in money, y'all. Maybe not so much anymore after these things have been exposed, but they were raking in dough, making serious money off of this. But he was getting high off his own supply. He's getting high off his own supply right here. Just being overly aggressive, overly stern, to the point where he's like, well, I have to practice what I preach. And we've seen it multiple times. If you watch some of their clips, if you see their clips and check some of their stuff out and the things that come out of his mouth, because it's mainly Myron that talks. Fresh CEO is just kind of like the side man, almost. You know what I'm saying? He like the hype man on the side, but he doesn't speak much. Does that make sense? You know, he's there for the energy. He's there to bounce those words off of. But Myron's really the one who's talking the most of the time. And then he's just Fresh Prince CEO is just, laughing and egging him on, you know what I mean? And cheering him on, basically. You know what I mean? He's his echo chamber in a way. But like I said, who does this? Who says this to a woman that you are literally trying to approach, that you're trying to court, that you find attractive, that you want to be with, y'all? Do you really do this? Does a man really go up to a girl and say this kind of stuff like this? Really? And do they get away with it? Clearly, it's worked for Myron at some point, because he wouldn't be speaking to this girl, to this woman like this, if it didn't work before. This clearly has worked because he has numbers, right? He can go to the Turo and get the fake rides. He can look like he got a whole bunch of stuff that he doesn't have. He could fake the funk like crazy. And these other girls, just eat it up and believe it. Instantly believe everything that's coming out of his mouth, because all they think about is clout. Clearly, this is a smart woman, like Nina Unrated, another smart woman. She went on there, but once they started to exploit her, try to basically bribe her with her own son, just so they can get content for their Patreon. It's just absolutely disgusting. Let's continue with this.
You have had sex with a bunch of dudes I know and aren't special. You could have just said no and kept it moving, but you're clearly in your feelings going through all that effort with a poll, etc. Go ahead and screenshot the conversation of clout chase. I don't care what 75 Simps said in your story to White Knight. The difference is I say what I want and don't care what you think they do. So at this point, this is where Myron lied and told everyone that I started threatening him.
And she blurted out my name. And then she sent me a DM saying, like, you should probably rethink how you talk to women, blah, 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 trying to shame me and say, like, I can expose you. She's like, I'll expose you. I was like, do it, bitch. Like, go ahead. Like,
I started threatening his business and threatening to expose him.
Yeah. And she made threats like, oh, I'm gonna, like, I'll make you look bad. It'll be bad for your business. I said, do it. I'll share. I'll help you. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick. I just got to ask you guys, what you just saw there, doesn't that kind of remind you of those like really terrible teen movies that you see about a girl who is now known as like the high school slut because the one dude who didn't get in her pants because he thought he would and he never did, but he goes and spreads the word that he did get to do everything that he wanted with this girl? Doesn't this sound like that? That moment right there, doesn't that seem a little bit like that, where he's fibbing like a mother, where he's capping like crazy just so he can sound cool in front of his people, in front of his dudes? Doesn't that kind of seem like that? Yeah. Kanaloa, like she blew the whole damn football team type story. Literally, like we're in the middle of it, like we're in his locker room, chilling, and he's straight capping, y'all. You saw the receipts.
None of this happened. You can see in the DMs that was just a blatant lie.
I was like, we're gonna smash it. She didn't like that. She tried to be like, oh well, that's your asshole move. Okay, you want me to lie to you and then like try to be on this other bullshit?
Another blatant lie from Myron. I defended myself, told him I haven't slept with a bunch of guys. I said that he is a terrible representation of his podcast and his business, and that I would be happy to put him on blast. I told him he has an opportunity to influence men and make a positive impact, and the example he's setting is trash.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Okay, I'm all about this. That channel, Fresh and Fit, to make men feel like they're somebody, that they're worth something. I'm with that all day long. All right, but it's not at the expense of trash talking, lying, dogging women, using your leverage to get the ill nah. I ain't with that stuff at all, y'all. That ain't cool. That ain't gangsta. Okay.
I pity any woman who falls for this stupid scheme to fly out to see you and sleep with you for a week promo on your YouTube channel. And then he said, all you'll do is cement my reputation, blah, blah, blah. You don't like it. That's not my problem. Unfortunately, I am who I am. I don't have to worry about an image.
Yes, you do.
That's the end of the conversation. Well, there was like one more response. And I said, unless you were there, you don't know anything about the men that I've been with. Unfortunately for women everywhere, you are who you say you are, and that's pathetic. And then I blocked him. So a couple things. Byron has been lying to everyone, saying, one, I was threatening to expose him, threatening to ruin his business. Obviously, you can see from the proof that's not true. A lot of his following is under the impression that I was trying to get on his show or asking to be on his show. Again, you can see from the screenshots, that's not the truth. I didn't even know anything about his show, which again, that's a lesson I learned. Don't agree to come on a show unless you've actually researched the show. I was just going off of a mutual friend's recommendation because that's a pretty good friend. But and he felt terrible about it and apologized once he saw. But the reason why I'm speaking about it now, and I wanted to make a video then and explain what was going on, but I decided to just not give any more attention to it. But I'm making a video about it now because I'm getting harassed and bullied daily by his following and by his people.
This is the very messed up part of this whole thing right here. This moment right here. Okay. Not only what we just saw, how she straight up showed the receipts, showed his reaction, showed what he said, showed that he was using his hubris, right? And basically trying to flaunt his numbers and what he has, saying that he's a high value man. Let's put all that on the side. Then on top of that, they continue to do this.
Myron told the guys on the podcast told everyone to put my Instagram handle in their bio or in their little messenger. Or I don't know how YouTube videos work like that.
Stuff. And then she blocked me because she was like, "Oh, okay, this dude, I can't hurt him by trying to embarrass him." Like,
what's her Instagram again? It goes something like
Anna Quinn Fitness.
Oh,
there you go.
Anna
Quinn Fitness. Y'all want to roast her? I don't care.
No,
she wanted to smoke. Okay.
No. But why would you do this, man? This makes you lesser than human, man, and that's my own opinion. All right? This is not what you do. You know, you say, okay, when you talk about the manosphere and everything, you know, is this what a man does? Lie? Blatantly lie? Fib? Exaggerate the truth? Not even exaggerate the truth, just straight up lie. Is this what an alpha does? That's what I'd like to know. Is this what you call an alpha? I think the thing that's going on right now is like, is this your king? Yeah. Is this your king? Y'all who listen to these guys every single time they go live, eating up their stuff, breathing it in like and drinking it up like the finest of wine. This does not seem like somebody I want to consume content from. Especially when you put her handle, her IG on blast so that she continues to be harassed even to this day, y'all.
Now you got to deal with that. Now you got to get embarrassed and look stupid and all this other shit.
Someone put her Instagram in the chat.
Can we see her Instagram real quick?
It might have been me.
Oh, damn.
Oh, you want to pull it up?
I would love to see her Instagram. Be honest with you. I don't even want to give her that.
I thought it was question fit. Hey, you know what?
They put my Instagram on their show so that people could go mess with me, and they told the lies about what they're claiming happened, and that is not the truth. So not only is this guy lying to everyone, but he's claiming to be a male self-improvement expert and the leading show for male self-improvement, but the culture that he is raising is gross and disgusting. These are bullies. I get at least 5 messages a day of people telling me I'm a whore, telling me to go kill myself, people commenting on my pregnancy announcement video, telling me I've been sleeping around, just awful comments. And here's the thing. Not a lot of people, only the people close to me know the real situation of what's going on with me and the father of this child. But the truth is, I can't talk about it because I've been threatened. My safety has been threatened. I was threatened, and I've been talking to a lawyer, and I'm not able to discuss the details of that. So right now, I just have to leave it kind of plain and generic, and I'm fine with that. But me receiving all of this harassment and bullying and all of these comments, it's heavy, and I'm tired of it, and I'm not going to keep receiving it without taking a stand for myself.
I think we got enough, right? We get the general idea Those guys over there are absolute clowns, and there's no reason for this woman to deserve any type of treatment of this sort at all whatsoever. I think this is really ridiculous in my personal opinion. Okay. And the thing is like within the manosphere and all that stuff, I don't really give a damn about that stuff, to be really honest. Because I do not want to stand for something like that. I don't claim myself to be in that world, but at the same time, I got better things to do than to be like, oh, this is what a man does and this is what a man is supposed to do. And it's nah, I ain't got time for that. I really don't. I missed a couple super chats. I wanted to make sure that I get those right quick. The Information Man Show. Thank you so much for the $4 super chat. He says the Pascal Show. This is a damn shame, brother. Yes, it is. Like I said, when I first saw their show, I'm like, bruh, this looks amazing. They have a really great concept. It's working. Do you? But there's a thing. You can still be doing those kinds of content with a bunch of beautiful girls, low plunging shirts, high skirts, all day long. Okay? All day freaking long. All right? Gesticulate violently and scream into the microphone, telling people what a man's supposed to do. And if you're not fat, if you're fat, then you're lazy, then that's fine. That's up to you. Okay? There's a way of doing those things. You can do those things all day long, but you do it as a gentleman. Period. When the camera is on and when the camera is off, especially when the camera is off. You lead by example. See, it's so funny to me. Like, I'm going to go to these other super chats here in a second. But what's so funny to me and what really grinds my gears more than anything in the world with this whole manosphere BS that I've been seeing over and over and over again lately is this trash that I've been seeing where instead of them going, hey, let's be gentlemen, let's be good people. Yes, put your foot down, do what you have to do with that within the confines of the manosphere. But a lot of it is like turning into a jerk. Or at least from what I see with the Fresh and Fit show. Okay? All I see is you just got to be an asshole. And I keep thinking, no, you don't have to be an asshole to be alpha. You don't have to be an asshole to get that girl or to be a high value human being. You can get everything that you want and then some without conning, without scamming mother lovers, without faking the funk. You can achieve the biggest dreams of your life, every dream, anything in dreams you never dreamt of by being a good human being. But these guys are doing their stuff and they're full on. Latif said it beautifully right there. F-boy roundtable talk. And then there's a bunch of other kids, young men and grown-ass men who, of course, I understand, have been looking penub into all the wrong places and getting screwed over all the time and get tired of it. So they go and they resort to a show like that is nothing but negativity. I don't see anything but nothing good coming out of that show right now, except for like full-on just entertainment. They have swindled people to spend money on them, buy their courses. They have faked the funk on so many different levels. I ain't for it. I just ain't for it. And if that pisses some other people off and makes them feel some type of way about how I feel about Fresh and Fit, look at the receipts. Look at the stuff that we've just covered. Look at the other streams that I just did with the fellas just a couple days ago. It is all proof in the pudding. Proof in the pudding that this is not the right person to lead the manosphere world. Just not. Let's go on to the next super chat real quick. And I will be opening up the throwing out the video link because I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this and all that stuff. We are going to go into a speak on it segment here very, very shortly. Lady Justice, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really do appreciate it. But harassed over a lie, he lied on her. That is full on facts. And here, that's why I mean by this is some high school musical BS. You know what I mean? This is some Varsity Blues, I don't want your life type BS, where he's the one who's lying, yet he's got all of his minions running after her and harassing her every single day, calling her all kinds of crazy names because she values herself, because she has self-worth, because she's not some low self-esteemed wannabe Instagram model that he happened to scoop up because they felt a little vulnerable when he scooped them up. And they're going, oh, well, he's got 400,000, such and such. You see what I'm saying? So then next thing you know, yeah, I'll do a little, whatever. I need the clout. So on and so forth. Just saying. We got Red sings the blues, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, as an affiliate of the manosphere, I get them this sort of stuff, but I'm more from the skeptic community. But nevertheless, it's fine. I don't think that this is some fabricated stuff. I don't think that girl, Anna Quinn, really wanted to go and just be like, hey, let me ruin these people's lives. I think that she's saying, she's seeing this ish finally coming out, this BS, and she's finally saying, hey, let me get in front of this. Let me tell my side of this story. Because this dude has said something. They doxed my ass. Now people will not dox, but they put my handle out there. And now I got people harassing me. Grown-ass men that are acting like high schoolers. Freshmen in high school. You know what I'm saying? There's, like I said, instead of them actually, the people who are listening and watching the show, instead of them actually doing their due diligence and looking into the stories and making sure that the stories are actually real and they all add up, they just go ahead and flood her DMs calling her a whore. How would that make you feel if it was if the shoe was on the other foot? Period. It'd make me feel some type of way. I wouldn't like that. I would never want that kind of negativity going towards me when I didn't even do the wrong. When he's sitting there going, no, okay, if you come out to Miami, we banging. Whether you like it or not, we banging. Sorry, not sorry. It's just how it is. I'm a high value man. Yet he's been faking the funk. And don't get me wrong. Make your money, boo-boo. Make your money. Make that shmanies. Okay? Make your money. If that's how you want to do it, cool. But make sure your ducks are in a row. Make sure that you don't have some loose ends like that. Or how about this? When you're talking about this whole thing like, I don't pay for the booty. I don't do any of that stuff. No. I'm a high value man, all that stuff. Well, make sure that the car you own is the car that you say that you own. You actually own it. Make sure. Oh, here's the other thing. Take yourself off of those dating sites where you're trying to find a sugar mama. That could be helpful. Cover your tracks if you're going to be hustling. If you found a new con or found a new hustle, cover your damn tracks. But no. They asked for this, y'all. They asked for this. Okay? Lady Justice, thank you again for the $5 super chat. High value is not high quality. Period. Thank you. had to put in the claps just for you, Lady Justice. Okay? But I am going to put in the video link. Okay? I see a bunch of y'all in here. Do me a favor. Please go and crush that like button, please. And if you haven't done it yet, please go hit that subscribe button, okay? I usually do a show on Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I do a morning show. But tonight I was like, you know what? I need to get on here. I need to get on here and do my thing and talk about this instead of doing a pop-up. Let me talk about it with the fam, get your opinions and all that good stuff, okay? So if it gets flooded with a bunch of people calling in, we're going to have to make the conversation short and sweet, but please click on that on that video link, hop on in. Let's have a conversation, shall we? Hold on one second. I need to get that link in there again. Boom. Okay. And also now it is pinned to the top of the chat. So please, by all means, go and click on that link and jump on in. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions about all of this too. Okay. Let's see. Rennie, Hebert, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
He says, I don't know her, but she responded to me today. They still dodging her out, or they're still dogging her out. Sorry. She didn't know Abba had that message till she saw it like we did. Yeah. That's crazy. And in fact, I would love to get her on the show for real talk. So if you know her or are in contact with her, I'd love to have her on this show. I would love to rap with her and talk to her about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think this whole thing is absolutely trash. And I think that she deserves another platform in which, aside from her show, her platform, I think she deserves a platform in which she can be heard as well. But like I said, the link is up above. Please go hit that link, jump on in. We got MochaSista. Man, it's been a long time. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, MochaSista. She says it's ridiculous that this has recurred to his women or to his woman. This mob mentality has got to stop. The mob mentality of attacking a woman who was doing nothing but staying on the high road, defending herself, but still being a lady with all of this stuff is still absolutely, like I said, just surprising to me that she still got this kind of reaction. It's crazy. Okay. We got somebody here. We got Keisha.
Hi, Pascal.
Hey. What's up? How you doing?
I'm really good. I'm so glad you're talking about this because I wanted to talk about it earlier today on your show because I love your show.
Oh, thanks.
But I didn't get a chance to. But here's the thing. There are a few things that upsets me about this whole situation. And, I hate that it's happening between brothers online. That's the first thing that upsets me, that it's even going this far. I understand why Preacher's mad. He has every right to be mad, and he has every right to feel the way he feels and want to do the things he wants to do because it was way too far. But here's the thing about these, and I didn't even know these guys before this happened. I knew Abba and Preach. I've watched them for years. I had no idea about this Myron and this Walter guy. But so they're harassing this woman online, and she's a pregnant woman. Now, he may not have known that she was a pregnant woman. That doesn't matter. But all these people who don't know her in her pregnant state are harassing her online. And God only knows in this climate what these types of people might do.
Yep.
It's not safe.
That's why she even said, I'm worried about even talking about the father of this baby that I'm pregnant with.
Facts.
That she's automatically going, I can't even talk about it because I'm scared that they're going to dox me or dox him and go and harass him, or this turns into something even worse. You got 400,000 people plus, well, not anymore, but 400,000 people that were consuming their stuff. They grew a fan base that turned into diehards. God knows there's probably somebody crazy within that 400,000 that would be willing to go to the great lengths of doing something heinous.
Right? Okay. And then the other part that really gets under my skin, it's I guess her name is Nina. What are they, online pimps? Did she say she was looking for a pimp?
No, I don't think she said she was looking for.
I know I'm being sarcastic.
But she was like, I ain't for this. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy because if you really think about that story too, they were willing to blackmail her with her son just so that they can get some adult content from her for their Patreon.
And here's are you running a business or are you running a brothel? Like, what is it? Pick one.
Right.
You can't have it both ways. This is ridiculous. I mean, the level of immaturity, but dangerous immaturity. And I don't really like the term toxic masculinity because it kind of sets us apart, male and female, and I don't like that. But they are toxic human beings. That's the real problem. It has nothing to do with them being men. They are just toxic human beings. And I'm just afraid for our young men and even older men who may be a little bit lost. And girls who may think that this is what masculinity is.
Yes. Keisha beautifully said, one thing before, and you can stay on, I'm just going to bring on somebody else as well here in a second, but I wanted to respond to what you just said. I do believe that this right here that I'm pointing at, this microphone, can be a very, very dangerous instrument. It can be an amazing instrument, or it can be a very dangerous one. It's a double-edged sword, right? It has its pros and cons. And especially when you got a bunch of people listening to you through this machine, through this device, and you have that many people listening to you, you tend to forget who you really are, or what you really if the numbers and the bravado and the amount of women that are bowing to you every time because of your numbers and because of the clout you have, I feel like people tend to get very blind with that idea. They forget, like with what's happening with Myron and Fresh Prince CEO. I think that they're just not looking. Their eyes are not open because they're so busy living the fast life and living like rock stars, having a grand old time, betting as many women as they want. All these girls are willing to do whatever they want them to do for the clout, so on and so forth, that they forget. And then they realize, the crazier I say things, the more power I have, the more viewers I get. And it just keeps going and going and going. But now it's starting to backfire.
Yeah. You're hanging yourself. You've gone too far. Like,
Absolutely.
And old people say that all the time. You can't go too far. Like, there's a point where something should kick in your psyche and say, you know what, this is not what I would want for myself. You're pretending to be something you're not, and then you're willing to go all out to prove to everybody you are the thing you are pretending, and that's why you went too far.
Right. Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I was going to bring up Red Sings the Blues real quick. What's up, my brother? How you doing? And
What's
Keisha,
up,
I do appreciate what you're saying, Keisha. I'm sorry for cutting you off. But Red, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing all right. Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, hear you loud and clear.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. Listen, I already told you where I'm from. We've talked before. I'm an affiliate here. I mean, more or less, I can say I'm an observant of the manosphere. I've been in it. I've studied. I've known the manosphere since 2015, 2016. So I've been in it. I've studied it. I know, the old heads of the manosphere. I've known like Roosh V and stuff like that. I know of them. I haven't talked to them, but I knew of the timeline of this space, and I know a lot about Myron and Fresh, because before Fresh and Fit was Fresh and Fit, Myron Gaines was Unplugged Fitness before it was Fresh and Fit, and I had a talk with Myron, and literally the talk was, it was literally about, I was going to be about social issues. I was going to be about, news topics, and actually sitting down and talking about the things that guys are reading and what guys are consuming in this space, right, from a filtered perspective. And Myron laughed at that. And I said, okay, that's fine. You know what? I'm not even going to start beef with that. I already know that, because I work in the entertainment industry. I told you this.
Yeah.
Is that, guys, when guys say, I'm doing this for views, likes, and stuff, that's the same thing as somebody saying to me, I'm going to be famous. And I said, be careful with that. And I told him that to his face. I said, good Godspeed. But one thing I got to tell you, man, be careful.
Right.
He was not careful at all. And I knew this was bound to happen. I knew that it was growing too fast, too soon. And when you do grow too fast, too soon, you do lose your mind. You lose your mind. And I already knew this. And I've seen this many times before. Many times. In the entertainment industry, there were many people that grew too fast. And then when ish hit the fan, they crashed and burned. Now you're seeing somebody who had, I just literally watched somebody who had 2 million subscribers on their channel recently. That couldn't even save them. And it's more or less like, because people are finding you out. All this stuff, and it's like, one thing's for certain, that what I can say to this is that, you know, when Abba and Preach went over them, when Abba and Preach got to them, you know what I'm saying? They were 1.35 million subscribers, but they've been on YouTube for 7 years, you know what I'm saying? So they know that they can lose their subscribers at any time. They can stop growing at any time, you know what I'm saying? But they're going to stay humble. They're going to stay, you know, they're going to stay themselves. They have a thing called authenticity, you know what I'm saying? And I think that is something that Myron and Fresh forgot when they started growing, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people put stock into them, you know what I'm saying? The stock was going up, you know what I'm saying? And then one thing happened, and now the stock is going down.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, you know, like I already knew this was going to happen, and you know, people said to me, you know, we and I had guys in the manosphere talking to me about, and even in my comment section, they were just like, "Aren't you manosphere? Aren't you going to stand up for Myron? You had him on his, you had him on your channel." I said, Myron's his own man, and what he did, I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to side with anybody. But when it comes to, you know, stuff like this, I said, bro, I listen, you don't own me. You know what I'm saying? The manosphere really doesn't own me. All right. I'll make that clear.
I also feel like that any person that is part of like the manosphere, it's not some monolith. I just don't think that either. I think that there's varying degrees of any spectrum, right? You can be a Republican and not be a hardcore Republican. You could be a little bit more liberal of a Republican than a conservative of a Republican in that spectrum, in that realm, if that makes any sense. So it's the same thing when it comes to the manosphere. It's not automatically going, oh yeah, you must be such and such and all that stuff. That is just way too complicated, and it sounds like a very, very boring, rigid life to live. You know what I'm saying? If the life of the manosphere is that way. But the one thing I will say is this, you know, I also see that somebody who is growing so fast, when it happens so quickly, when you have something that grows overnight like this, and you say, well, I got a lot of hits and a lot of people are doing their thing. You know, a lot of people are starting to hit that subscribe button. You know what? This girl's kind of hot though. Let me just see if I can shoot my shot, and it works. Then next thing you know, you're going, oh my God, well, this worked. I could do it again. And I could do it again and again and again and again. And then at some point, you're going to run into some girl, some woman, some real woman that's going to sit there and say, no, I ain't cool with that. They're gonna shoot you down like a woman, like an adult, right? With grace. But if you keep going after him like that, when you start barking up the wrong tree, it can turn into a mess. He messed with the wrong one that day. Real talk, especially now with Nina Unrated as well. But continue.
Well, there's a guy that I talked to. He's in I wouldn't say he would be manosphere, but he's considered that. His name is Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, and there's one thing that there's one thing that we talked about. He does not mix business with pleasure, although he has women on his channel, right? He does not mix business with pleasure at all. You know what I'm saying? Women do hit him up. All right, he told me this, and we talk about this, you know. And he said to me, you know, like, there's one thing, because he said, I see your channel growing, and there's one thing you got to know. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't mix business with pleasure. All right. If you're going to have a woman on there, that's okay. And I've had women on, but I know that this is a professional business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I work in the entertainment industry, so I know, you know, not to do that, you know? And the one thing that I know is that, well, I'm not even trying to look for a woman online. I would never leverage my podcast. I would never leverage my business to get women like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how good she looks. This is a business at the end of the day. And if you value your subscriber count, you value the money that you make on here, you value your fans and your fan base, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would find women outside like you said you would. But, you know, that's the one thing from this that I disagree with immensely, is that you would use your podcast, you would use your name to get women. I said, no, man, like, I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I find many women outside, and even I don't even bring up my podcast. I don't even talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But people talk about me. They find, even with a 3,000, you know, subscriber count, people have noticed me. They notice who I am, because I have been talking to people in the manosphere, so they know who I am. So I'm not saying that I'm a popular guy, but people found me out. So it's like, you know, but I don't talk about it. I don't use that power that is my name, my podcast, to try to get something like women. You know what I'm saying? That is a line we do not cross.
Yeah,
that is a code that I have, and that is a code that many of us here, that some people in the manosphere that I know have. You don't cross that line. But I mean, with Myron, I don't know. It's a different story.
Yeah, you know, obviously he is found a new tactic. Basically what it is. You know what I mean? Like some guys will go, hey, well, if I get a fast car and I flash the money and I have the nice clothes on, you know, girls will automatically come to me. You see what I'm saying? And all that. And I think that he found a new tactic, a new in. Also, you know, the show is doing very, very well. They're making a name for themselves. They're doing their thing. Well, you know, before all this happened, before this debacle, things were working very well for them. So of course, people are going and checking them out. Girls are looking them up, so on and so forth. So they're going, oh, well, shoot. Now we're celebrities. Now we're YouTube celebrities. Come on with it. Let's go. Keisha, what are your thoughts on this real quick?
You know, I have watched, you know, this whole beef kind of spiral. And it's like these guys, they didn't realize they had gone too far. And they didn't understand how to fix it. And I still don't think they understand how to fix it, or that they're even inclined to really fix it. You know, I heard the apology, which really was not an apology. I heard both apologies. I saw the written apology, and then I saw the apology they gave on their show. And if you're going to apologize to someone, first of all, it has to be sincere.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't just be because you lost subscribers.
Yeah.
And it has to be as forceful as your insult or offense was. You know, the sincerity has to match. And none of that happened.
Right, I agree with that.
You know, and the thing that really got me about it was the gorilla sounds and the little gorilla act when he was trying to describe Preach.
Right.
That was
that I didn't agree with.
ridiculous.
That was racist. That was full on racist, and just in my own personal opinion. And yes, I do agree. If you are going to apologize for something that you've done, right, you should be using as much gusto to apologize as you were when you were passionately degrading someone's wife, degrading someone's country,
Come on
and
now.
all the other things that they were doing. All that stuff, that ain't cool. Because he just called me a monkey. He called me
right.
He was talking because I'm Haitian, so he was talking to me too. You see what I'm saying?
I'm from the Caribbean. The Walter guy, was it Fresh? He's from the Caribbean. He's from Barbados. The other one, he's from Africa somewhere. What are you doing?
Yeah, it was stupid. It was like reverse racism type of thing. I do have a comment here I wanted to pull up here really, really quick. And the link is still up above, y'all. So please jump on, click on it, hop on. Let's have a conversation, okay? Love to hear your thoughts. I thought I saw Nur up here, but then that disappeared. And I think I saw Puffin in here. And it just, I don't know, it keeps disappearing. So, you know, make sure your things are connected. And you got a good signal at least, and let's get cracking, okay? But the Pioneer, what's up, my guy? All right, good evening, my brother. Said on YouTube, the Pascal Show. I don't approve of what Myron is doing, but what's wrong with using clout and fame to get sex? I don't get it. This is America. Why the excessive social rules? Now, very, very good question. There's a difference, though. Let me just say this really quick. There's a difference, though. Okay, with what Myron was doing. He was using fame and he was using force to get sex verbally. I'm not saying anything. We don't know anything else. And I guarantee you, these two women are not the only ones that are going to come out. Like I said, this is going to be a tsunami here. It's going to be a tsunami very, very soon. But let me just say this really quick. When it comes to this situation, he was going after her with force. He was coming out after her. Yes, he was dangling the, like the carrot in front of her type of thing, right? The clout. So, but the thing is that with any other person, like let's say let's say I'm some big, huge celebrity, right? And I get all kinds of women. I know my status. I know my place in the world. I'm not going to a girl and saying, do you know who the F I am? You better get down. You know what I mean? You better get into this bedroom. No, that's not how it goes. All right. You still have to be a gentleman. You still have to do what you know what I'm saying? Just because you have the clout, yes, it gets you closer to that person. Yes, maybe even the girl who you think is like the girl of your dreams that you never think would ever look at you in this at all in your direction, suddenly walks to you and says what's up to you because of your clout and fame. Sure, but he's literally throwing it in her face, being like, look what I got. So you should be having sex with me because I'm helping you get numbers. Go ahead, Red. What were you going to say?
So the Pioneer says something else here too. Says, what's wrong with getting clout? What's wrong with using your clout and fame to get sex? What am I missing here? Are we in America or Iran? Some sexually repressed society. Well, let me tell you something, man. We wouldn't be having this conversation, and I'm not trying to be a dick here, but we wouldn't be having this conversation if this wasn't, something that wasn't a reoccurring situation. And let me tell you something, because I've talked to many guys in the manosphere, and I can tell you that like we have a division of guys in the manosphere called game guys, right? So like Mr. Locario, a guy that I really like, he Mr. 1950, if I'm gonna align myself with somebody, or some people, it would be my elders, you know what I'm saying? Like the real elders, the guys that really teach, game, you know what I'm saying? The quote unquote game, like how to talk to women and stuff like that, right? So basically, if a woman says no, or she's not really interested because, social cues, if a girl's not interested in you, you just go away, you know what I'm saying? And no means no, you know what I'm saying? Like no means no. She gives you a no, go somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? And for guys, that quote unquote have game, I'm not going to say I'm the king of game here, but you know what I'm saying? If she says no, there's all, you don't chase. There's a rule about the game. You don't chase, you replace, you know what I'm saying? And I know I don't, and I know that's gonna, for a lot of people, they're just gonna be like, well, that sounds very toxic and stuff like that. But but if a girl's not into you, right, you don't chase her. You don't do what Myron did. You know what I'm saying? You don't write a paragraph about how I'm a high value man and complain to a woman why you're not getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm famous. I'm a high value man. That's why she made the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this is just something for me that I even have to cross the line on, because again, this is a guy who clearly says to run game on women. Well, that's not game. You know what I'm saying? That's literally saying to me, I'm using my clout and my fame to get sex because that's the only way that I can. You know what I'm saying? Yep. If she's attracted to you, she's going to let you know that she's attracted to you. By the text messages, she didn't really care. And again, when she was talking to Myron, it was a professional setting. You know what I'm saying? Myron was the one who took that the wrong way.
He off-road that ish so fast, by the way. It went from, oh yeah, what time? When could we get this thing? Very, very business oriented, very, very on that professional realm, right? And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, let's fuck. What? How is that? How do we go from how do we get here?
Like that's like me going to I'll use Miss Keisha for an example. Excuse me, Miss Keisha, if I can use it for as an example.
Go right ahead.
Basically that's me like saying to me, hey, I got a real good podcast called Red Sings the Blues, but I also want to get to know you in the value and in the most high value way that I know how to, right? And she's like, huh, I don't know what that means. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, you know what I mean by that. Yeah. Then and she's like, nah, I don't really mean by. And then that's me like going, wait a minute. Oh, come on. You already know what I want. Right. And we already have guys like Harvey Weinstein, all these other dudes that have been outed for, the stuff that Myron's getting, outed for. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah. I mean, I know what people are talking about, but like I said before, right? If we're talking about game here, because again, this isn't game. All right. This is using your status, right? if you're using game, you wouldn't care if a woman said, "Oh, oh man, I'm not interested. I thought this was." Oh, okay, sorry. You know what? You're right. Okay, let's put that aside. I was being a little facetious. You know what I'm saying? I was being overzealous. You know,
I had to shoot my shot. I just
I
had to
shoot my
try.
shot. Yeah.
Moving on. So
Right,
what
right,
day
right.
can you do it? Blah blah blah. Don't worry. You know, it's going to be a bunch of people there and all that. So it's not going to be anything awkward. You know, blah blah blah. You look very pretty, and let's move on. You know what I'm saying? And you just go back to the way it was, but not what it was. You know what I mean? Not how he did it, and that's the wrong part. You know, when guys are willing to use their status, right, like their riches, their status, their fame, and all that stuff to turn it into something much worse is wrong. Now, let me throw it over to status, riches. Whoops, let me throw it over to Nur. Nur is in the house. How you doing, girl? Can you hear us? Nur? Okay, I'm going to let you go, but try to jump back on and maybe turn on your mic. You might want to try that. Okay. Well, we got Rennie in the house. What's up, man? Rennie Hebert. What's good, man?
Doing good. How you doing, Doc?
Hey, man, living the life like it's golden. It's a freaking Friday night, and I'm here with all y'all mother lovers. So I'm having a great time. What's popping? What are your thoughts on this whole situation, man?
Well, there's a point. I'm 47, and I grew up old school. Uncles, grandfather was a preacher, all that stuff. Live in Louisiana, worked at Avondale Shipyard, and they had some of the baddest women that you could have ever worked with. That's one of the reasons why I get along with them, because I've been around them all my life, unlike some of these dudes. My supervisor told me that the problem that they had on the yard was that the men didn't respect working with women on the shipyard. But the supervisor said that the women had families to take care of, and they took care of their responsibilities, and they never took a day off. Another shipyard I worked at, they just had women working on the yard, driving the truck around. They ended up sleeping with the guys in the yard because the men on the yard didn't train them to be better than just some woman drive around in the truck. It's the men's responsibility for that. Just like the situation with these two clowns, Baby Bird and Little Boy, where they're teaching these young men or these boys about how to be a man and to go to the peep game. I'm an alpha male. I call myself an alpha male. I don't have to pay up, but I got to use all my tricks in my tool shed to get women. But you don't have those tricks. You don't have a studio. You don't have a Ferrari. But if you give me $2,000, I'll tip you to the game. Okay. But you ain't never got the Ferrari and you're still fat and ugly. So give me another $2,000. Well, it's getting kind of lonely. The subject being about legalizing prostitution. They were against legalizing prostitution, but alpha, beta, whatever you want to call it, all these young boys giving them $2,000 being pimped out by them. If they go to the Vegas Strip, $150, now they ain't wondering why women don't find them attractive. Peep game. I was shocked when I found out they're getting $2,000 off of these jokers.
Bruh, I'm telling you, I mean, seriously, I've seen episodes, you know, because I've kept an eye on these guys because they've been just blowing up, right? But they were getting dudes that were even super chatting them thousands of dollars.
Dude, they picked up $10,000 in one night jumps off of super chats. I'm like, who's that stupid?
Well, but here it is, sex sells, and when you have a bunch of low plunging necklines and a bunch of girls twerking and riding a pole in the corner and making out with each other,
you a beta by going to the club, but then they're gonna put the club on your TV at your house.
Facts.
Like I said, it's a hustle and it's a game. They're doing the same. Right. I don't know if you remember the Opie and Anthony show or Howard Stern. They did the same exact thing, but Howard could do an interview with a stripper.
while
How
she's
can
riding a Sabian or Sibian or whatever they call like seriously,
whatever.
popping things out of her hoo-ha and all, like crazy,
Yeah.
and he's still having an interview with her at the same damn time. It's insane. That's why Howard Stern is Howard Stern. But at the same time, I know that they're trying to take that same realm, right? That like a little bit
They're
of
trying to make a black entertainment version of it.
exactly. Except it's not. Yeah. Except it's a little different. But of course, they just.
Well, Open Anthony had Patrice on all the time.
Yeah.
And all those comedians hooping their wares. And Patrice would peep game to those who would listen. But Patrice is also honest about himself too. Because Patrice tell you straight up, I'm a fat diabetic with a heart condition. And when he died from a heart condition, it was no surprise.
Right.
But he also had one of the baddest chicks at the time, Don DeCarlo. And he man, like talking about these alpha beta male types or whatever. Patrice had so much game, he taught his old lady game.
Word.
But these guys, Patrice wasn't selling you books. He wasn't telling you, pay me $10,000, give me $10,000 a show, whatever. If you came and saw him on the Saturday night, he had a good set. They came back Monday morning, talked about the set, whether it was good or bad, and they were honest about it. That's my biggest problem with them two clowns, is that they just trying to sell you. They're pimping out the audience. This is not, like I said, this is old hustle. They doing Don Magic Wand stuff to the audience. And these guys, just like the women on the corner for Don Magic Wand, they love him. They just think he's being honest with them, but he's pimping them out.
Yeah,
right.
It became a don't simp for women, but donate to us, and we'll teach you how to. It's like basically, and I know this. It's like you're not simping for the women, but you're definitely simping for them, because I see more of them talking about, because you listen. I got caught up in it too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a young man, but I decided to be my own young man. You know what I'm saying? I decided to be my own voice.
Well, to be honest with you, you learned a lesson that my father and my uncles taught me. If somebody is about to get their ass whipped and it's one-on-one, why are they knocking on your door for the fight? You weren't there when you weren't there when they were running their mouth. So why they running to your door when they're about to get their ass whipped?
If there's one thing I learned from my elders, man, is that you fight your own battles. You know what I'm saying?
But what they did with this whole situation, I don't mean to cut you off. I know I'm not gonna be on here long. I just want to go back to watch you on my big TV and not stay on my little monitor. But one thing that's very clear in all this is that the way that they did this situation, and that's what really pissed me off, is that if you look at the situation, like I said, I hope you do get Anna on, because she's a girl from San Antonio, Texas, not California, the other bullshit. He did try to pull this stuff with a Texas girl, and she came to him real, like a real person, and he couldn't handle that. So then he lies on her, and then he runs back to his cave, and he goes and hollers to his crew. Now he could, in the Texas stuff like that, she was talking about, she only had like about not that many people, and she really wasn't talking about like exposing him and whatnot. He the one talking about, go ahead and put me on blast and all this other type of shit. And so she said, all right, bet. Then he comes back with, help me. She gonna lie, and it's like, bruh, what the fuck? If I'd have been sitting there, if the two dudes that were sitting next to him and the clown sitting across from him, I looked at him and said, dude,
Chris
what the fuck are you talking
from
about?
the Roommates podcast? Yeah, Chris and
I'm like, bro, what you talking about? Like I said, we all men. Homeboy, y'all sitting together, clowning, beefing, whatever. Somebody says something wrong. If the way I learned, you apologize to the way that the man that you offended is satisfied with. If he's not satisfied, then it comes to hands. But if you open your mouth, you had a 50% chance of getting your ass kicked.
Right.
So with that 50%, good or bad, you can make it 25, you can make it 75. It's up to you.
Right.
But they went running back to their crew. Like it's a gangland. It's the same problem California had with the gangs when they were really bad. You can't fight on your own, so you're gonna grab a shotgun. You're gonna get an AK because you can't throw hands.
Right.
You got into the beef by yourself, but you're gonna go to the car and get all your boys. But the only reason why you big and bad is because you got your boys back there. You're not big and bad because you're bad on your own. You're big and bad because you know you got some guys that's gonna fight for you because you can't handle your own. Like I said, I just want to chime in because when the deal was like, well, what about da 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 da, and you know, this is repressed society, this that and other. This ain't nothing about no repressed society. This is about being what you say you are, and it's
Mhm.
about holding yourself accountable first. Whether or not anyone else holds you accountable, and the young men that are watching the stuff, whether or not your mother, your father, your sister, your uncle, your brother. I'm an electrician by trade. I could die today or tomorrow because of a mistake I make or a mistake somebody else makes.
Right.
Yeah, man.
But I have to be true to my word. I had to be true to my word. If I did a job, I'm honest about doing the job. If I didn't do the job, I got to be honest about not doing the job. If I got a helper that's working for me and he lies about doing the job, he's got that one job and he's gone. Because I can't trust your word. My life is in your hands. You don't understand that. Them, like I said, they had an audience of 400,000. To be honest with you, if they were talking two people across the chair from one another, I expect the same respect that you have in a two-man conversation than if you was talking to 500,000 people around the world. That's the problem we had with that last president we had. All the stuff that fool did, I don't want to get into politics because that's usually what I watch. But all the stuff that fool did, coronavirus, Afghanistan, then he gets up at the podium. He held Obama responsible for everything.
Right.
He right now is holding Biden responsible for everything. But he, as a man, went to the podium and says, I claim no responsibility for nothing. I don't know why you're looking at me. But
Right.
you the president. You leading this show. If you think it's going good or going bad, when it's going good, you're taking credit for it. When they have 430,000 people watching the show, talking to them, stuff like that.
The art of diversion, right? The art of the art of diversion for sure. But Rennie, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate
I'm
you.
sorry for talking so long. I didn't mean to cut you guys off like that.
I got a few people in the queue. It's all good. I appreciate you coming on and coming in with your 2 cents and everything. So thank you, my brother, for coming on. All right.
Thank you for allowing me a voice.
Anytime, brother. Peace. Oh shoot, I did not mean to. I hit the wrong button. Information. I'm sorry. Information, man. Also, Red, I want to say thank you so much. I'm going to bring somebody else on as well. So thank you so much for jumping on.
All right, see you, man.
See you, man. All right.
What's going on?
I
man?
got a couple new people, new faces. Information, man. What's up, man? Thank you so much for being so patient, man. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
Well, let me just say this, brother. I've been on YouTube for a minute now, and I've been in the manosphere circle, so I kind of know the mentality, the ideation,
right.
What you're dealing with. And I think people, I don't know if anyone's touched on this. What you're dealing with, I believe, is there's some intergenerational things here. You got a lot of young guys that are getting on social media and are using social media to bash people, bash women in particular, because they're caught up in their feelings of what they weren't able to achieve in the real world. So they get women, like you said, they're having success because they're using sex, okay, exploiting women that come on there. And guys, to me, it's an indictment on where manhood has gone today, that you have guys that are so into themselves where they have to live out their fantasies through programs like this, where they put women up there and exploit the women, and they're getting all this money and all that. I don't want to pocket watch, but it is an indictment on where we are as men in this society. And I think where we are when we look at the younger generation of men, because I'm a Gen Xer, brother. I probably don't look that old, but I'm a Gen Xer. I'm 51 years old. I go back a little ways, and that's just not how I was raised and how I carry myself when it comes to dealing with women. And you see it a lot on YouTube where guys will disrespect women, and they think that it's a feather in their cap. They think that that is exuding masculinity and what have you. And people just love to dox each other, talk about people on social media, and people hide behind what we call these keyboards, right? They click, 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 and they hide and they say stuff to you and do things that they would not do to you or say to you in person. And like the brother said, you got a lot of people who need groups. You got this group think, this group gang mentality where if I got a group of people around me, now I'm tough. And It's really a shame. They got a big following. I don't think I don't think they have to engage in this type of behavior to continue growing their channel or continue going where they're going. They got a large audience, sex sells, and that's what they're using.
Absolutely.
But do you have to go after women to be able to prove a point that you're this red pill? And I don't know what your thoughts are on this, brother, but I'm not a red pill. I'm not blue pill, beta, whatever. I'm just a goddamn man.
Facts.
I don't get caught up in labels, and that's the problem. If you got to label yourself, it tells me you ain't what you think you are.
Thank you. Just because you said a bunch of things, in there, a lot of good talking points. One thing I do say, because you're saying it's an intergenerational type of thing, I do think that we do live in a world now where a lot of the young cats, right, a lot of us, men and women, don't know how to speak to each other. Like the watering holes, like going into a watering hole and actually going and trying to hit on a girl, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Or trying to peep game, trying to do this, that, and the third, trying to get the digits and all that stuff doesn't really exist as much as it used to. Nowadays, it's an app and everything is solitude and everything's on a phone, right? So I feel like these guys are suddenly seeing, well, there's a lot of young guys that don't know how to pick up a girl or pick up the girl of their dreams, or to be that swashbuckling dude, that can slay a whole bunch of scallywags. I mean, I don't know what it is, but for some odd reason, there are these new guys that are coming out.
I'll tell you what's happening, brother.
Like Fresh and Fit, that are literally saying, "Hey, I'm going to show y'all the way." And hey, it worked for them for now, but now it's starting to crumble. Go ahead, information.
Let me
man.
think, because I'm gonna let this. I want the sister to speak her mind as I get off soon.
Right.
Here, I got a cell phone in my hand. This is one of, as much as this could be a blessing for us,
yes,
it's also a curse. The more we are interconnected through cell phones and computers, the more disconnected we are as a people. And I'll tell you why. Because this took away interpersonal skills and ability to use your verbal skills, because everything is about push button and swipe this way, swipe left, swipe right, right? And so guys don't know how to talk to women. They have issues, and then whatever frustration they have with women, it comes out on social media because it's safe. You're on a keyboard. You don't have to worry about anybody putting their hands on you. And it's a problem. And I'm seeing, when you go outside, this is a sad commentary on our society. And when you go outside, a lot of people got their heads in their cell phones. There's no interpersonal ability. Even when you look at high school and college, English professors and English teachers are saying that a lot of these kids, sometimes, not all, don't know how to write because they know how to write the slang language on the cell phone. That's a big problem, brother, a very serious problem. And it translates into what you see on social media, because I think, if I got my numbers correct, about 70% of young people get most of their information, or they're plugged into YouTube, not mass media. This is where they're getting it from. And if you have content creators who are steering them in the wrong way as to what masculinity is, how you talk to women, what is to be beta or alpha, and all these labels, you got the wrong kind of guys doing this. And the reason why they can get away with it is because they have large numbers. And this is how we are as a society. It's what we see. It's the flash. Wow, they got a lot of numbers, so they must know what they're talking about. You can have a lot of people watching you in big numbers, and you can still not know what you're talking about, because you could be leading people down the wrong road that they'll buy into, drinking the wrong coffee, right? When I lived in San Francisco for over 30 years, there was a man named Jim Jones. He led a lot of people, black folks in particular, to their deaths. So these things can happen, folks. Brother, I gotta send you the message in your IG to get you on my show. So look for that soon.
Sure.
I've been chopping at the bits for that, but I gotta send you that message. I've been a little busy myself.
It's all good.
I'm gonna get off the panel so other people can get on. I'm sure the sister's gonna have some powerful statements as well. Thank you, brother, for having this forum tonight too.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. Thanks for jumping on.
All right, peace to you, everybody. Out.
Oh, This always happens. Damn. Hey, what up?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I am doing good. What are your thoughts? Lady Justice in the house.
So I popped on here because a lady said she couldn't read everything that I was writing so fast.
I know you were writing like the like Moby Dick text messages and stuff. I was like, oh wow. Just come on and say it.
So
what's on your mind?
I guess a lot's on my mind. I'm trying to track this conversation, but one of the things that I believe it was the information show was just talking about had to do with like communication and stuff. And I think that we are pretty terrible at communication, and I don't think it just necessarily has anything to do with phones. I was an English major first and foremost, and when I first went to college at both my universities, we had freshmen failing and had to repeat remedial English before they could even go into English composition at least 2 or 3 times on average. Most individuals who start college are not testing at the college level writing to begin with in composition 101, and that's a serious issue. And this was what I went into college 2003 to 2004 when I started. So, I mean, this is pre-cell phone texting. I think that this has been an issue for a long time. But when it comes to the manosphere or the womansphere, I think oftentimes the things that we're missing in both are the other genders. And I'm just going to say the other genders, but oftentimes these focus on, male relationships with women on a cisgender level and vice versa. So for my comment, this is not about other gender specifically. This comes from a cisgender heterosexual perspective, but we often have these conversations without the critical element on the other end. And one of the individuals I think of who gives really good advice, and she's been around some of really the earlier manosphere, like before it got super toxic, was Rebecca Lynn Pope. I don't know if anyone knows who she is, but she gives really amazing relationship advice. And she had talked a lot about how she likes to work with men as opposed to women for various reasons. But I think that how are you going to really have a critical dialogue between how to cultivate the healthiest relationships between women and men if you're not actually talking to individuals that already are demonstrating that they can have healthy relationships between the genders? Like, it doesn't help if you're saying, okay, well, I only want to find the quote unquote high value man, and then you're getting all kinds of people who are perpetrating the lifestyle. And then I want to get what we would call the equivalent of women, which is people who their currency is just their beauty. And then you're getting just these two groups together. You're getting very shallow perspective coming in to have really critical conversations where you start generalizing entire populations of people. Like, for example, I listen to Kevin Samuels occasionally when my brother sends me stuff, and I think about, what's your dress size? What's this? You can't get this, or you can't get this. And I'm thinking, like, I can count on, if I had more hands, how many dates I've been on with so-called high value men that I really just didn't like, because I don't like people baiting me with their wealth. I personally think it's disgusting when people don't see me as a human being and don't want to have a conversation. And so sometimes those things just didn't work out because of the high value aspect. But I also think it's where people don't know how to talk to each other, and they're not getting the right types of people to have conversations. And this was one of the things that the pioneer and I were discussing briefly. He had asked a question like, where are people getting their morals and their values from? Who's telling you it's right and who's telling you that it's wrong? And I would push that further and say, well, who's telling you that the women who are doing OnlyFans are the right women to be having conversations? Because it's just like the woman who did the first video and she was saying something like, do I have a boyfriend? No, I don't have a boyfriend. And my whole thing is like, do we really want to be getting relationship advice from people who aren't in relationships? Like, I can give advice on probably the way I learned to be and what I've learned being a healthy person in a relationship and being an unhealthy person in a relationship, but I couldn't tell someone what it's like to have a long-lasting marriage. You'd have to talk to my parents, for example, who just celebrated 37 years on August 11th. I think that we get the wrong information from the wrong types of people. And I think that it's going to be critical, like the pioneer was saying, that, how we decipher information and all the information comes down to really critical thinking skills. But once again, I'm going to go back kind of to the education system. Those are skills, deduction and reasoning and logic are skills that are not taught, until you sometimes get to college and you're in your philosophy logic class. So I really feel like there's a lot compounded here, and my mind is racing all over the place, because I think that this is bigger than just, is the manosphere toxic, or is, even we could jump and say, is the woman sphere toxic? I have a lot of questions for who are the types of people we have in these spaces, and furthermore, are we looking at them the way cults look like? Like, to me, like the woman who got harassed, like literally Fresh and Fit were like, go harass her, here's her Instagram, and people did it. I think about it like, you could think about it like the Beehive, or there is
about to say that, the Cardi B fans, or the lambs, like the Mariah Carey lambs and all that. Go ahead.
And they go out and they attack people, and they swarm them. And people don't even know what the truth is. They don't even go to listen to the other side. And to me, these create problems. And I think that's the problem we're facing. And the last point I'll get at, because I see Chuck and Laura just jumped in here, that I wanted to make is, we have to think about where we're moving as a society. People criticize, I don't like the modern woman, or people criticize that, I don't like the chauvinistic man. But if you don't understand your history, you won't understand how to stop it from repeating itself. And I don't think that women are trying to oppress men. I think there are a lot more men that support women, but we have to come together to have a paradigm shift. We have to have that cathartic moment where we move into the future together as human beings. So, regardless of the gender, regardless of the orientation that you have to come together to work collectively. And that's the problem that we're facing right now, is people don't know how to be together. Look, I don't expect people to be able to be in a relationship when half of us can't even be friends. So I think that there's a lot of things that need to be broken down about what's happening with like the YouTube culture, and people say red pill or blue pill, or manosphere or womansphere. It's a lot of people still going up against each other, causing division, and not trying to come together to think of critical solutions or solutions that work to shift us out of this garbage and this toxicity, to move us to a better, stronger, more collectivist society, because that's what we need. And that was the conversation the pioneer and I also had about freedom. There is no freedom in the United States without impunity. I think people need to just wake up and realize, like, every liberty we have to exchange for something. If I want to drive the road, I got to wear my seatbelt. I got to follow the lights. I have to turn out the driveway with my blinker on. You give an exchange for the freedoms and things that you want. And all of this to me just kind of goes together. So I'm just going to shut up now and let others speak.
Well, you dismantled the F out of that. And you said a lot of things that are very, very true. Just to be completely honest, I mean, you dismantled it, and there's a lot of questions to have, or to pose within this whole, when it comes to the whole dating sphere, the relationship sphere, the whole sphere, all these spheres and stuff like that. Real quick, before I throw it over to Chuck and Laura, Taylor Hackner, thank you so much, Taylor, for the $4 for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Every dollar is appreciated here, right here on the Pascal Show. Chucky D, what's up, man? What's good, bruh?
Brother Pascal, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to hear your voice, you know what I'm saying, and have your presence on here. Also, I'm going to say hello to Laura Estrada. Hello, Laura.
Hello, Pascal, and hello to Chucky D.
Hey, Laura. Hey, Lady Justice.
Hey.
So, Chuck, what are your thoughts?
Where do I begin?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I can't be. I'm just not in the headspace right now to be politically correct when it comes to this topic.
Fair enough.
Because it's really just getting out of control at
And
this
it's
point.
Friday.
It's completely gone off the rails at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
The lack of manhood is really infuriating, you know, to me. You got these guys that are using, you know, social platforms to lure women in. What gets me is like it seems like the art of seduction is lost. You know, even if you don't have the natural ability to attract the opposite sex, there are books, you know, there are other means that you can learn how to engage with the opposite sex if you just, you know, you don't have that natural ability. Some people have it, some people don't. But right now, it's desperation. It's what it looks like. What it looks like to me, you know, and it's really pathetic. You know, I really don't understand what is a manosphere. Like, let's talk about that. Let's cut through the BS. What is a manosphere? Because me personally, I don't want to be in a sphere with other men. Number one, you know, let's just break that down. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm in a sphere, I want to be in it with a woman because I need estrogen to balance out my testosterone. You know, yin and yang, perfect harmony, you know, to create that balance. That's what I need in my life. And I think that's what any man that really understands, you know, who he is, you know, he subscribes to that philosophy. Like, I don't need validation from other men to make me feel like more of a man. That concept is completely foreign to me.
Facts. And I'm with you 100% on that. I think that it's just like any other spectrum. Like I was saying earlier with Red Sings the Blues, you can sit here all day long and say that you are Democrat or Republican or anything of that sort, but you are a human being too. That just because you're a man does not mean that you are suddenly have to do within the confines of what they say alpha is. You can still be alpha and know how to crochet. You see what I'm saying? That's what
Absolutely.
You can still be alpha and know how to fucking throw down in the kitchen and cook. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's cook. Maybe you are the cook of the family. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that you're less of a man because you took on that particular chore in the house. You see what I'm saying? Like those type of things I find ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? We are all human and we are all different, and we can't, like you said, we should not be stuck. We shouldn't be a monolith. Like a man should not just automatically just be a man. You know what I'm saying? Like what man's supposed to be? Oh, we're supposed to be chopping wood and hunting out in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not all that. There's much more to what we are as men, and there's a lot more to what women are as women, and everything in between as well. You see what I'm saying? Real quick before I got a couple super chats. I just wanted to give them a shout out really quick. Tyler Hackner, before I throw it over to Laura. And I'm loving the conversation today, guys. I'm loving it. And if you guys are loving it too, please keep hitting that like button. Send the likes all the way up. Keep the conversation going in the chat room. I appreciate it, y'all. I really do appreciate it, fam. Anyway, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. He said, hearing a lot of good points here tonight. I'm a fair amount younger than most of the people here. I'm 19 and I'm learning a lot. But see, this is the thing, Tyler. See, this is like kids like you, right? Young men like you that are looking for other advice, that are trying to find something that's the right type of advice, not this crazy flash in the pan type of fast cars. Like, you know, oh, you got to hold her accountable and make her feel like crap. If she makes you feel like crap, you should make her feel like crap. One up on her. That's what you're getting over at Fresh and Fit. I'm sorry for saying that, but that's the damn truth. You know, you're getting the wrong type of advice, and it's frustrating as hell to me. Okay, Agro Vixen Nurse said, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. She said, get some rest, Pascal. You look tired. Yeah, I am tired. But you know, and I appreciate you taking care of me. But at the same time, I had to jump on here and have this conversation with you guys. I'm home. I'm chilling. You know, I'm chilling. I'd rather be talking with y'all than sit and stare at the TV for 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? Before I go to bed. So might as well put some worth in here, right? So Laura, What are your thoughts on this whole conversation here?
Oh wow, there's so much to process here. There really is. This is a very important conversation. First off, I want to take off of Lady Justice, starting with her saying that people, women and men nowadays don't even know how to basically be friends. And going before with another caller, if I feel it is generational a lot for just kind of, well, that's a part of it because I'm a Generation Xer, and the art of seduction is totally true what Chuck's saying, but I feel because men and women don't know how to talk, that they're already lost. They already kind of have nobody to kind of turn to. And then you have those narcissist predators out there who kind of catch on to the new kind of boy. And that's when I think misinformation, or people write books all of a sudden, that's when it starts, the manosphere, all that lingo starts, the red pill, blue pill, then it's a platform. And now these men are already insecure. They pay to be validated, because when people are sending $10,000 to a super chat, that's validating the misinformation that they're getting from these two toxic people. So it's just a horrible cycle. And it all comes down to literally, I love the internet. I'm not a real big fan of social media, but we all need to connect. And that's why I think, because our world right now is so chaotic, that culturally and socially, we are chaotic right now. No, there's not a good answer for everything. But as much as I get upset about like old school ways of certain things, generational, like for instance, I think about 20 years ago, just having a man or a kid talk about cooking, or being on TikTok and sewing, and that would not have happened. You would have been completely shamed from that back in the day. So that's where I feel like we've opened up, because that's an everyday thing. That's not weird anymore. But there's still those men that do view that. They don't like progress. And those are the ones that are toxic. But I think they have problems with narcissism and ego too, and insecurity.
Yeah.
So this is a really big problem. And I'm glad, I feel sad for younger generations, because I do miss seeing people go to bars and go to clubs. And I do get sad when a guy approaches a girl and the girl takes it completely wrong. And then, that it's this whole like, oh, you must hate women or disrespect them. And it's because this guy doesn't know how to pick up on a girl. And then if he gets rejected, then all of a sudden it's women suck. So again, it's very chaotic.
But let me add to that, Laura. Okay. So that guy, right, is going out there. He's shooting his shot with those girls at that watering hole, right?
Yes.
God willing, if, the lockdown's lifted and all that stuff, right? So he finally musters up enough courage to walk over to that fine girl, right? Gorgeous, this visage. He walks over. She shoots him down. It's a disaster, right? Maybe he doesn't say to her, "Oh, you must hate men," or whatever. He doesn't say anything like that at all. He just is hurt, because you got to remember, it takes a lot for a man to walk over to a woman and try to shoot his shot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage. And if you're not used to getting shot down a lot, right? Not because you've been shooting your shot all the time. It's just like maybe you just are shy. A lot of guys retract like turtles. They just go back into their shell. They go back home and they just ruminate and they dwell on that feeling of being rejected. But here's the thing. Then they go online and they find a YouTube channel like Fresh and Fit. And they hear these guys screaming all this stuff and saying all these ideals and all these ideologies that are within this quote unquote manosphere. And then they're suddenly feeding this guy through that screen. And they're going, yeah, you're right. No, hold them accountable and all this stuff. They're feeding the guys that are getting rejected all the time. That's what they're getting. That's why they have people who are spending $10,000 or $2,000 on a course on how to pick up a woman. You see what I'm saying?
It's toxic. It's disgusting.
Yes, it's really disgusting and messed up. And don't get me wrong. I mean, if that's your hustle, that's your hustle. But you gotta play the full part. You can't just play the part when the camera's on and then go off camera and be a jerk. You see what I'm saying?
But you know what? That's where I'm lost, because if you have 400,000 followers,
right?
You mean to tell me that there are 400,000 people that are that naive and
You
gullible?
want to know, my brother? Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
on. Like that
I'm gonna
incenses
real
me.
quick, but I do have a super chat really quick, and then I'm gonna answer that real quick because
right.
it's amazing. It's amazing. Just wait. Rennie Hebert said, "Thank you for the $5 super chat." He said, "Thanks again for having having my voice in this evening. I couldn't shut up and sound like I fell off a tractor in the field of hay. No, you sounded great." Rennie, I really do appreciate you coming in and throwing in your 2 cents, and you're always welcome to jump on and have a conversation here, right here with us on the Pascal Show. Okay, so here's the thing. I do have somebody else on here. I'm going to pull him up, but I'm going to mute you, my brother, for right now. Here it is. Okay. You want to know how they got the 400,000 subscribers? Let me tell you how they got the 400,000 subscribers. It's called sex. It's called every single video that they had was bombastic or in your face or extremely flashy in some sort of way. Flashy of skin, flashy of sex, flashy of, they'll sit there and go, oh, and pardon my French, ladies, this is not the type of lingo I use. I'm just saying what they say to the girls sometimes. Oh, you're just being a dumb broad. Literally on their shows, they say this stuff live on the show to these people, to their people, okay, to their guests. Just because, say, the girl doesn't entirely agree with Myron, with Fit, or she has an opposing view on something, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times they'll sit there and go, you're just some dumb broad and you're just some dumb chick, all that kind of stuff. So they sit there, and for those guys, those 400,000 guys that are out there that are feeling upset and feeling screwed over, or feel like this is how men should speak to women, are watching this. And then let's be real. All these girls look good. These are all Instagram models. These are all models. These are all good looking, fly looking girls that are either willing to do whatever on camera because it's the show, or because of clout, but they're all showing up boobies and ass out. That's mainly one of the main reasons a lot of these dudes are coming in and watching this show. It's for the skin. The skin wins. Skin to win. That's what's working here. And then they talk to these girls like they're trash. And these dudes are going, oh, shoot, man, you got to see what Myra just said to this chick, man. Bruh. And she fine as hell, too, though. What's her IG, though? Real talk. And then they come back.
So they come on, showing skin. Okay, I get that. You got a lot of thirsty people in the world, right?
Thirst is real, brother.
I get that. But it's like, after the first 10 women that come on there and get completely disrespected by these two clowns, why would another 10 line up just to, engage in more of this toxic behavior?
The girls. You're asking about the girls, right? You're asking about the girls.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you why
would the women continue to perpetuate this nonsense?
I got something
with these clowns.
I got something for your ass. Okay, Chucky D. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you. One is clout. Two, remember what we saw in the Anna Quinn video? She was down for doing the interview. She didn't know anything about the show. She just knew about the numbers. She didn't know anything about the show, what it was going to pertain, or anything of that sort. She was just down right off the bat. She blindly said yes because she may have seen the numbers, never saw the content, so she was going to go out there and do that damn thing. A lot of the girls that they pick up and bring into the show, they're meeting at a club, they're meeting at a bar, they're meeting out, or those girls are seeing the numbers, but they're not doing their damn due diligence, which is also showing how, unfortunately, not forward thinking these girls are. Let's just be real. Think about the caliber of women that they're bringing onto the show. They're not bringing, yes, they bring on some female lawyers and female business women and all that stuff as well, but they're not that is few and far between to what they bring onto the show. They bring onto the show girls who are only there for clout. And those girls are usually running after guys that are driving the car that they don't really own. You see what I'm saying? It's an ongoing thing. They got this formula and they bring it in. And yes, there's a few girls that are great, forward thinking, but you also got to remember this as well. Let's add in some alcohol in there too. So then they're doing shots, they're drinking, they're kicking it, they're blasting music, getting all hyped up, and then they do the show. And I'm sure Myron and Fresh Prince CEO can have a tolerance, an alcohol tolerance, or they're maybe not drinking at all. And they let these girls get over there drunk as hell after they've signed their waiver, their video release form to be on camera. And then they rip into them. Then they take those little moments, they cut them out as little bites, put them out on the internet, and those bad boys go viral. Then those guys who are going, oh snap, did you see what he just said to that girl? Keep coming back over and over and over again. And they go, whoa, I see him in that Lambo. I see him with this big booty chick. I see him with this and that, the third. Wow, I want that life. He's smashing girls, man. They smashing these girls. That's literally what that's literally the platform that they have built. They have built entertainment. Basically, girls gone wild with clothes on and talking about relationships. And then you have Myron, who has the shortest wick of temper. He has the zero patience for any girl that opposes his views. And as soon as they oppose him, he's like, get the F out. You've just been Frank Castled. Literally. This is all the show is. And then everyone's like, oh my God, because they like it. It's crazy. It's entertaining. So that's why people keep coming back for more, because they can't wait to see the stupid things that are going to come out of that drunk girl's mouth. The new drunk girl's mouth.
Pascal, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Laura.
So right before you said it, I thought about how it sounded just like Girls Gone Wild, but on the internet. And I mean, I think about how watching that infomercial growing up, it was this total, like, just kind of almost like this kind of culture of masculinity. And it was ridiculous. It was all about tits and ass and drinking beer and partying. And it was
and all that crazy stuff.
and it was degrading watching it. And I mean, there was nothing funny about it. And like, you just gave me a flashback of just watching that show and just being like, what is this? So now that's how I feel when we're talking about these internet platforms and these hosts that basically are completely just, I don't know. It's just real. Like right now, when you just explained that episode, it made me sick to my stomach because it's just.
You want to know something even more messed up? Let me drop some more knowledge on your head real quick with this Girls Gone Wild. Think about it. A lot of those women now are mothers.
They sure are. They sure are.
The contrarian's here. How you doing, the contrarian?
Hey, how's it going?
Going good, man. Going good. Thanks so much for jumping on. What's on your mind? Join in on the fun. The water's warm.
I wanted to let everybody have their say without interrupting. So
of course,
conversation's been great and engaging.
Thank you.
Shout out to Gen X as well. I'd like to say I'm at the older end of Gen X. I've watched this show for a very long time. The irony being, I actually started watching this show because I follow Abba and Preach. They did a podcast with them, and they caught my interest.
Right on.
But I think you really summed it up so well. A lot of things I was going to say, you just summed up perfectly. Myron definitely has the marketing angle on what feeds the appetite of his audience, just like Jerry Springer or any other person who is successful in creating entertainment value for a group of people that want to listen to what you have to say. They've captured their market. The tragic side of it is this, and I'm not going to go 100% on it because I've listened to the show for a long time. I watch it from the train wreck perspective, though. What's tragic to me is the young men that watch this show and say things like, thank you so much for trying to, help me better myself as a man. They're completely antithetical to bettering yourself as a man. It doesn't mean that everything they say is exactly wrong. I mean, players going to play, don't get played. We all grew up with kind of that,
facts.
When you have game, when you're growing up in my generation, part of having game was understanding the game. These guys have zero game. These guys are playing a boy game. There's no man game in their game. If you watch this show enough, if you listen to Fresh, he's like a 12-year-old kid.
Basically.
I mean, he has zero self-awareness and he has zero awareness about life. He has zero awareness about manhood, zero awareness about women. Myron's a little bit different cat, though. Myron is not a dumb man. I think Myron is I think his curse is a little bit of arrogance in the fact that, you know, he's been so successful. I think that's fueling him, and he's, you know, he's stretching, he's punching above his weight. Because let's be honest, these are a couple of tier 3 guys in a tier 3 city dealing with tier 3 women that get ran through at the club around Miami.
Facts.
They're not in the big league. They ain't in New York. They ain't in DC. They ain't in LA. They're not in Chicago. These guys are playing in a very small pond. And within that pond, they're not real. They're not moneyed. They're not playing with the elite of money. They're playing. I don't even know, before I get on this monologue too much longer.
You good.
It's astounding to me how someone like Fresh can go out there and rent Lambos and take pictures of him with stuff that he doesn't own, and then sit on the podcast and talk about men leading with money. I mean,
exactly
how that hypocrisy doesn't reach through to the audience that's watching. And it makes me cringe at the idea of, as a man, as a professional man, a grown man who's made his way through life. And I watch these guys, and I watch younger men look at them and say, yeah, these guys are going to teach me how to be a man. I don't even know how to reconcile that. I don't know if that's a larger statement on where we are as a society today. I don't even know where to pigeonhole that, because, you know, if someone like me was to talk to that group, they say, I was watching the night when all this happened with Avon Preach, when the whole thing went down. I was actually watching that. I work late at night and I keep it on in the background because it's funny noise to me.
Yeah.
One of the things that they quickly went to was ageism. Fresh was specifically pointing out, calling them old, right? Well, I'm old too, but, you know, old doesn't mean I lack wisdom or knowledge, or the fact that people work for me and I listen to young people and understand what their anxieties are, and specifically young men. Young men are working in a hard world today, much harder than you or I had it, because kind of like what Laura was saying, back in our day, and I think I'm even a little older than you, but back in our day, there was the art of seduction. You could make a subtle pass at a woman and it wasn't a felony, right? It wasn't going to get you fired from your job. One too many times it might. But these guys capitalize on an anxiety of younger men because they're out there in the world. They're trying to get to know women. They desperately want women. They want to be in a relationship, and it's not happening for them. And these guys are coming along and they're telling those guys, the reason why these women don't want to date you is because you don't have the right pictures on your Instagram account. It's so simplistic in nature. It is. Anyway, I've breathed enough into your conversation. I just you know.
No. You were just dropping some really great things. You know what I mean? It's nice to get a new perspective in the conversation as well. And what you're saying ain't wrong. And we live in this weird ass world where what you just said, like, it's all social media based. It's all, you know, it's all how many numbers you got, or how many, you know, what your photos look like and all that stuff. And it's like, well, what about me as a human being? What about me as a personality? What about my personality? What about me as a you know, like, that I have a heart beating in my chest, and I have things that I like and don't like? What about my political views? What about my dreams and aspirations that I'm looking at? You know what I'm saying? Maybe we have other things in common other than just the numbers I have on my IG, or if I have a jawline or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous where we have gone, or where the dating scene has gone for the youths of America. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really sad. Real quick, I'm gonna throw it over to you, Laura, real quick. Hold on. I got I have a $10 super chat from Mercurial Bunny. Thank you. Mercurial Bunny, thank you so much for all of the perspectives and interesting conversation. Thank you so much, Bunny. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. But Laura, what were you going to say really quick?
I was going to say that I can't remember what the lovely listener before me, his name, I can't remember it, but I can't read it. Anyway, he was talking about like Jerry Springer, and it flashed in my mind
Oh yeah.
how since truly like social media is fairly, I mean, new, how things are, I think right now we're going through a very weird transformation tech wise anyway. And we're all speaking the same language when it kind of comes to social media worldwide. And okay, so we've talked about it being almost like Girls Gone Wild. And then also this is also a form of a Jerry Springer show, or all of those kind of Sally, Jesse Raphael. People still crave that. But unfortunately, you know, they're using they kind of have blended in with the dating scene and the, you know, woman and male relationships. It's just, again, we all love we're living in such a tech time, especially with COVID and Zoom, and we're experiencing this first time where to be inside and to be socially kind of depleted is the norm, because it's how we have to do it. And this is the outcome of what a year or a year and a half of being quarantined or being stuck in your house. Kind of, we're suffering almost like the aftermath of everything that horrible person, you know, did to us for 4 years. And then it also just from capitalism and certain things creeping up in our society, and it's come to a head right now. And and now it's between human beings that can't socially connect anymore. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very sad. Chuck, what are your thoughts on this real quick?
Well, I think that, you know, we started to move in the wrong direction as a society with the shows that were mentioned previously, with the Jerry Springers, with the Girls Gone Wild, you know, things like that. I think that's when we started to move in the wrong direction as you know, as a society, you know. And I think now the line has been blurred so much that now you have a generation of people, you know, that are in this, you know, age of instant gratification, where they're not looking at it for entertainment. They're looking at it as education. And I think that's extremely dangerous.
Yes.
You know, the line, you know, not even that the line is blurred. There is no line anymore. Like, they're looking at this as like, I need to follow this philosophy in order to be successful in life. This is what's going to define me as a man, as a woman. If you listen to the music that's in, you know, that's circulating right now, it's, I need it now. What can you do for me now? You know, it's not songs of yesteryear where they promote, you know, love and the art of communication and things of that nature. And you know, that's what's missing. That's what is missing in our, you know, in our ethos, as you know, right now. You know, there's a huge disconnect when it comes to younger people and the elders. When I was young, you know, I'm 39, so I'm kind of in the middle of the road. But when I was young, I would look, you know, I would look to the knowledge of the elders, those people that have been married 20 years. How can I achieve that? How can I get that? You know, how I don't see how you could, you know, as a consumer, you know, these 400,000 people that are following, you know, these guys, they're not even looking at their track record. Are these guys successful in their personal relationships? No. So how could they give me anything substantial as far as wisdom or knowledge when it comes to attracting, not only attracting, that's the easy part, but maintaining a relationship with the opposite sex? If they're not living that, that's hypocrisy.
Mr. Pascal, if I may.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say I totally agree with Mr. Diesel, but let's just boil it down to like the very essence of them and their show. Their whole point is teaching men how to have game and be successful with women, and even their strategy is a fail. Take away the larger societal part of it, is their whole strategy is a fail strategy. I mean, you don't even have to go much further than that. Everything they talk about, look, if you're a professional person, like their whole thing is you should be on all social media. I guarantee you, and I know this as a professional and working around professional men, that's like the last thing you would do, right? Maybe that's something you do when you're 22 and you're working your first job and you're kind of in that age bracket in the club scene. I get it. But really, real ballers aren't running around on Instagram sliding into DMs trying to see if they can hook up. That is not happening. In fact, most men with game that are really hitting it, you don't even know who they are.
Absolutely.
Their game is not even the game, man. Seriously. Anyway.
Hey, Lil Wayne said it beautifully. Real G's moving silence like lasagna. That's
absolutely.
All I'm saying. It is facts. Hey, real quick, I need to throw this over to Kenny. He's new in the group. Hey, Kenny, how you doing, my brother? Unmute your There you go. What
hello?
up, Kenny? Yeah, Kenny. What up, man?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. How you doing, my brother?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think a lot of everything that people have been saying is right on the money. There were a lot of things I wanted to add because I'm an older millennial. I just turned 40, and I see like a lot of these new guys coming in and having a persona of this is what it is to be a man. And a lot of people don't address mental health and all these social economic things that's going on in the world today and in our own lives. It affects me so much when I go outside my house. I live in New York. I go outside my house, and this aspect of what manhood, what it is to get the baddest girl, have all this money, but then have no morals behind it. And it kind of just, it makes me sad that this is the generation that's coming up. This is the generation that's going to teach the next generation how to be. When you see, because I actually like Alba and Preach, and I don't agree with everything they say,
right?
But I respect them because they stand on what they believe, and even if they feel like they're wrong, they'll dress it like a man. These two other guys, integrity. These two other guys, I never heard of them. Well, actually, let me stop. I have heard about them, but it was so flippant that look at these guys. Look at how they telling people how telling men how to act towards women. And now when I see the whole thing go between the two groups, and I watched it, I couldn't understand. Like they're talking about an idea, a principle. Let this issue of legalizing it because people have it. Whatever, it's an issue. But instead of addressing the issue, it's we're this, we're that, we're better. You're not. At the end of the day, we're all the same. Some may be a little bit up, some may be a little down, but we all are the same. And I was telling this before in the chat, like having game is the greatest thing in the world, but the game is so toxic. Because when you have game, you can be able to talk to people, sell yourself, know that you're not going to settle for just anything and everybody. It's valuing yourself, but this game of how you treat people, that's the toxic part. And I don't think that people understand how to treat people anymore. Like you're human. Like we're all, we all bleed the same blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you 100%. In a way, it makes me think this is going to sound so stupid. It's going to sound so corny. But this makes me think of Rocky IV. Just wait for it. Hold up. Just ride with me here for a second. Okay. You got these two guys, right? You got Drago, right? Who's like filled with steroids and he's flashy and all that stuff, and he's just gigantic, right? And that's like Abba and Preach, they throw a whole bunch of money at a bunch of stuff, and that's why they're successful, right? And then you got Abba and Preach, and they're like Rocky, they're running in the snow, they're doing pull-ups on trees, you know what I'm saying? They're chopping wood, they're getting strong by grassroots. By doing strength training grassroots, right? It's almost like that, like they're going after each other. And right now, the natural is winning. The people that were stuffed up with all this crap, because once you tear down you take out the steroids, you take out the flashy stuff, you take out the fake boobs and the fake butts, what do they got? They got nothing. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I think Abba and Preach are surviving and thriving even more now. And Fresh and Fit are just starting to deflate pretty damn quick. Real quick, I want to say this really quick. A big thank you to Tisha for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. They said an excellent show this evening. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for the $20 super chat. But Lady Justice, I haven't heard from you in a while. I'm getting some echo somewhere. Okay, so I haven't heard from you in a little while. Let me hear your thoughts really quick so we can wrap up the show.
Yeah, so I had just kind of been sitting here thinking more about how I just personally find it funny that they take some of the oddest, and when I say rare, I don't necessarily mean diamond in the rough, but the level of beauty that they say is the capital for high value, which they also say is very rare. They bring these two groups together, and then they say, let's have a conversation about relationships and friendships and everything else and money and sex and all of this. But then they have average people listening to advice from a small representative of the population. Like, I don't understand how anyone thinks that advice at this level is going to be helpful when it only is for a subset of people. And that's just kind of a thought that I've just been sitting with, thinking about throughout everyone stating their points. Is just, I just find it funny because I don't like what I call garbage TV. I'd rather watch slow TV. I don't remember what European nation it was. They literally had you watching a train for 24 hours. Like, I'd rather sit and watch something like that and enjoy the realness of it than to watch, The Real Housewives or something that's just full of drama and fakeness and people who don't really represent everyday people. Like, that's not how I'm going to learn about experiences. It's not how I'm going to learn about life and become a better person. It just, I just don't see how we continue to give our time, money, and energy to these people who really don't truly represent anything. But maybe I'm just an oddball and I can see it for what it is. Trash.
No, I think you're just somebody who is, an intelligent human being, like all of us in this chat, all of us in this chat room, in this show. We're all being, we're all thinking for ourselves. And when we see content like that, we know when we see real stuff and when it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, this miss me with the nonsense bullshit that you're giving me right here. I've seen this before. It's called the 90s. It was on TV for a long time. That Jerry Springer stuff, real talk, and that Girls Gone Wild stuff, like, been there, done that. It worked then, not working for me now because it's trash. We'll see how they transpire, what they do. Hopefully they figure some things out so that they survive. But here's the thing, though. I'll also say this too, real quick, and I also want to say thank you to everybody for being on real quick before I wrap it up. So, Lady Justice, Chuck Diesel, Kenny, the Contrarian, and Laura Estrada. Thank you, all of you, for being on. I really do appreciate you guys coming on and finishing, ending out the show with me today. I really do appreciate it. But what I wanted to say is, their channel's not going to be destroyed. They might lose 100,000 subscribers, but they'll be able to find another 100,000. I mean, I don't think that there's going to be a problem with them finding or redeeming themselves. You see what I'm saying? I feel like they're going to learn. They're going to learn from their mistake here, and they're going to go back in their cave, figure out what they need to do, and revamp. The other thing is they ain't stopping. They were just doing a show while we were on today. You see what I'm saying? So they're not changing their formula. Maybe Myron is speaking a little lighter. He ain't speaking with his, saying it with his chest as much right now because he's a little nervous, but at the same time, because he's worried about those bags going away. But at the same time, they ain't changing the formula. So I'm hoping that they learn from their mistakes and they're able to build from this and do something positive with the platform, not just fake boobs and BBLs the entire time. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping for. let them mature, let them grow and mature, right? That's what I'm hoping for. But everybody, thank you all for being on. I really do appreciate it, guys. I really do appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Brother Pascal.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Have a beautiful night. Have a good weekend.
Y'all have a good one, y'all. I appreciate it.
All right, later.
All right, y'all. But woo! So that is the show today. I want to say a big thank you to every single last one of y'all that came in today and had a conversation. I love these, man. These are great. You know what I'm saying? These are fantastic. I am not complaining whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving these kind of conversations where we get to talk about things and just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. And so I want to say thank you to everyone who came on. Y'all are dope as hell. Okay. But don't forget to hit that like before you leave on your way out. Don't forget to hit that like button. Also, crush that subscribe button. It'd be really great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. All right. If I do end up doing a show tomorrow afternoon, it will most likely be later in the afternoon. I will let you guys know in the comment section and all that stuff. And you'll see, I'll probably have something up so that you guys can see what's going on. Like, what I did today. It seemed to work. You guys were able to see what the topic I was going to do 2 hours prior and all that. And then we went live. You know what I'm saying? So we'll probably do the same thing tomorrow. If I do go live, it'll probably be something around 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, somewhere in that realm. Because this man's going to sleep. This man's going to sleep in and enjoy some much needed Z's right now. Okay, because even Nur's telling me I look tired. And if she's telling me I look tired, then I look tired. You feel me? Because, that's my girl right there. Nur, my girl right here. You know what I'm saying? So I listen to Mama Nur. All right. Okay. But I really do appreciate all y'all for being on. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And also, hey, guys, go to the Patreon. Okay. I'm trying to build that Patreon so we can start doing nice big shows over there, some nice Patreon centric shows over there. So please go over to patreon.com/the Pascal Show. There's a whole bunch of tiers on there. Please go crush that follow button, be a part of it. I would really, really appreciate it. Okay. She is here. I don't know what she is here means. I don't know what that means, Rennie. I don't know what that means. But anyway, thank you for the $5 super chat, though, Rennie. I do appreciate that. But as I was saying, I do appreciate all you guys for being on. Go to that Patreon, crush that Patreon. Like I said, it goes from $5 a month all the way, and it has like 4 different tiers. Okay, so. But I'm going to be doing a lot more other things, like talking about the things that we're dodging right now, the mandates that are coming on, all those things that are going on. We're going to be talking exclusively over there, bringing in experts, medical experts, scientists, and all that. We're doing those things only on the Patreon page because we can't talk about it over here, unfortunately. And it sucks. I hate it more than anything in the world, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. So hate to leave you guys like this, but it was a good 2.5 hour show. Great conversation. I love all you guys. You guys are really amazing. All the new fam, please go crush that subscribe button. Be a part of the fam. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon, okay? This is the Pascal Show. Bye.